I've always said you could coach in some institutions. I think you could coach at USC a long time. I don't think you can coach at Notre Dame forever. I think it's like Kentucky basketball. I think the intensity is so great. After about 10 years of Kentucky basketball, it wears you out. He retired and still had a lot of years left to live. Do you think, and this is not to set you up on Brian Kelly, but Brian Kelly told me a year ago, he's like, this is not a 20-year job. Could Notre Dame do a better job to make it easier to coach there?
Well, I mean, there's so many subjective factors when you ask that. I would have liked a few more years myself, to tell you the truth. Okay, but that being said, saying that in jest, I think that you need to know when you go in there, it's a different program. It's different. I mean, grades and going to school and getting your degree is going to matter
a lot.
High character is going to matter. Okay, football is going to matter. I used to say in recruiting, it's like a pie. There's three things that are involved. Okay, character, academics. Okay, character, academics, and can you play? And if you were missing any of those ingredients, okay, then you really can't play there. Because if you're a high character guy who gets good grades and can't play, then you can't play. Okay, if you can play and you have high character, but you can't read and write, you can't play. Okay, and if you can read and write and you can play, but you're in trouble all the time, you can't play then either.
Well, it's a small town, and Notre Dame's the centerpiece of it. Socially, it's not necessarily an easy place, right?
No, it's not a. But I'm telling you, I don't know too many players that were there when I were there that didn't enjoy themselves socially. Usually, when they came to you and said they wanted to leave because they didn't enjoy a place socially, it's because they weren't playing.
That's generally the rule everywhere.
That was usually the case.
Okay, let's end with Kaepernick. I don't see him as a franchise quarterback. I've always had a theory on backup quarterbacks. I don't want him to be newsworthy. That's why I'm not a Tebow guy. I'm not a Manziel guy. I'm not a Cap guy. Now, I will make an exception if they're Garoppolo and I think he's my next guy. Then if you're Tom Handsome and you look great and you're in the new, I can live with a little bit of it. So if you were, right now you're in Baltimore and Flacco's out, well, Charlie, what do you do?
From my perspective, without getting into all the political aspects of this player, I think that's going to happen for this young man is somewhere this year, a starting quarterback is going to get hurt.
Yes.
And then the backup is going to be the starter, and somebody's going to bring him in and try to get him ready to play. Because now he won't be threatening. He won't be that distraction that you were talking about. The best job in football is the backup quarterback. You go there and everyone cheers for you.
Right.
Because you're not playing.
Right.
Once you're playing, everything changes all of a sudden.
So you do think there is, because you're not the first person to say this. Doug Gottlieb said this earlier. Flacco's coming off a rough year. Baltimore wasn't as good. Kaepernick comes in. He's wildly polarizing. Do you think Flacco could even feel a little threatened?
No, I don't think he'd feel threatened. But, that's look at Ozzie, John, they know what they're doing.
They're smart dudes.
Okay, if they bring them in, they've already talked all these things out. They've figured it out. But I personally think that what's going to end up happening is somebody will get hurt because somebody's going to get hurt. I mean, it's football. There's going to be a starting quarterback that goes down, and now your backup's a starter. Now his value goes way up because now you're not talking about bringing in that guy who's newsworthy. Okay, as it currently stands, getting ready for the season. Now you're in desperation mode, and you're trying to bring guys in there that you
can
get
actually
ready
play
to play to give you a chance of winning.
Right. Charlie Weis, 3 Super Bowl rings, former Notre Dame coach. Where do you keep your rings?
I keep them in the safe. They're already dedicated to my kid. They're my kid's rings.
Those are pretty amazing.
I wore them for a while, and then I got a lot of abuse by using them in recruiting. My favorite line, I used to wear a Super Bowl ring, and I say, if I can get them to look at my ring instead of my face, I got a good chance. But now I say I wear the only ring that matters. So that gives me brownie points with my wife. That's just the way it works.
Got it.
Very cool.
Very cool. Charlie, good seeing you.